Duh, uh, uh. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Dune Part 2. So, Dune Part 2 is the second installment in the Dune trilogy, and it's directed once again by Denis Villeneuve, and it stars Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Dave Bautista, Christopher Walken, Lea Seydoux, Stellan Skarsgård, Charlotte Rampling, Javier Bardem, etc. And so, Dune Part 2 tells the story continuing on from when the first one was left off after Paul successfully did what he dreamt of, which is meeting the Freeman and being in love, getting Channing to be in love with him, and so now they go on a journey to get revenge on the Harkonnens for what they did to them in the first film. Like killing Duke Leto and Duncan and taking control of the spices. So now Paul and the Freemen go on a journey to different places, like like I forget the place they actually went to at first, where we get to see Stilgar and a bunch of a group of worshippers worshiping this god, who I forgot what kind of god they were praising. I don't remember any of that stuff, honestly. And yeah, so now, yeah, in that one moment, it was revealed that Lady Jessica is actually pregnant, and Paul is actually about to get a sister, and yeah, and yeah, well, and also they find out that Paul Atreides is actually the chosen one, the Messiah, and he actually takes his father's place as the new Duke, Duke of Atreides, and so yes, they must be able to journey to the south in order to fill the destiny as Paul becomes the leader of the Arrakis. And when the Harkonnens come to attack, yeah, they go on such a war. And also Paul has this new ability where he can foresee the future. Yeah, well, technically it's not new, because it turns out that his dreams in the first film was actually the future. He can foresee them, so he foresees many different. He knows about this terrible future only he can foresee. So yeah, that's basically a plot for it. That's the best I can summarize. But yeah, trust me, guys, the movie is a lot tighter than how I summarized it. So yeah, now those who know me so well would know that Dune Part 2 is my most anticipated movie of the year. Yeah, I know that is a cliche statement to make. That's a cliche pick, yeah. Because this is every single cinephile has their most anticipated movie of the year. Now, yes, there are a lot of people who put Deadpool and Wolverine as their most anticipated movie of the year, but the vast majority of them would say Dune Part 2. Yeah, even when I had Dune Part 2 as my most anticipated movie of the year, even ever since back a few months ago, at the time everybody put Deadpool and Wolverine as their most anticipated movie of the year. But then they're like, okay, you know what? It's Dune Part 2, because they like saying, oh, because the current state of the MCU, Deadpool and Wolverine doesn't deserve to be number one. Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you get the point. Now I love the first Dune movie. I think that is honestly the most underrated Denis Villeneuve film for me. Yeah, the most maybe not underrated. It's not underrated. But I'd say it's probably Denis Villeneuve's most overhated film. I'd say Enemy would be his most underrated film, despite probably being one of his weakest films. Either that or Incendies. Probably Incendies is probably his weakest film to me. But Dune is probably his most overhated, because the movie does have some fans. There are people who literally hate on the first, who say it's so boring, it's too slow. I'm talking about those people who don't have high attention spans and all that stuff. I'm glad some of the haters are appreciating it now, but yeah, I don't get the hate for the first Dune movie. But I knew that it was setting up itself up for something greater than it already is. I knew from the very beginning that Dune Part Two was going to be better than the first film. That all the action, all the spectacle, everything that Denis Villeneuve promised it to be, which is Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings, is in this film. And so many things, there are so many things that got this to be my most anticipated movie of the year, like how, like the fact that it's the main part of the story, the bigger part, the fact that Zendaya's Chani, who only had 2 minutes of screen time in the first film, it is going to be a main character alongside Paul in this one. Additional cast members like Florence Pugh and Lacey Dukes. That was actually when I was like, oh, that. Hearing that Florence Pugh is in the cast is when I was like, okay, sign me up. This is my most anticipated movie of the year now. Yeah, that was at the time. And recently, Anya Taylor-Joy said that she had confirmed that she had a secret role in the film. She was actually secretly in the film this whole time. They revealed it in the London premiere. And yeah, and you got all those trailers and all that stuff, but. And all that those trailers and all that stuff, but Anya Taylor-Joy being in this movie was the cream of the crop. I mean, you got Zendaya, you literally have Zendaya, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Florence Pugh all in one movie. That is something for me. Yeah, imagine Stacey and Haley Steinfeld starring together in a movie. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like that, but yeah. And of course, you got all the reviews who are, this literally got the same, the Top Gun Maverick treatment, where the first film literally has like, not that great reviews. It still got great reviews, but it didn't it's not as raved as expected, but this one literally rockets above the first film. Yeah, this literally got the Top Gun Maverick treatment where people are just raving the shit out of this movie, saying this is one of the greatest sequels ever made. They're literally comparing this to films like Lawrence of Arabia, like when it comes to classics, and people even compare this to other sequels. Like this is in the same conversation as The Dark Knight, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. What was that other sequel again? There's another sequel. I actually forgot what that was, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. This is literally being compared to some of the greatest sequels of all time. And while the first Dune movie has an 83% of Rotten Tomatoes, this one skyrocketed to a 97%. So, yeah. I was actually not planning to see this film today originally. I was going to wait for the weekend, wait for my dad to go see the film with me. But then I decided, you know what, actually, I think I'll see it because of how hyped I was for this film. I decided to watch it on second day, and I'm probably gonna rewatch it because I knew that this movie was going to have a rewatchability factor where I would go back and rewatch this movie for a second or maybe even third time, maybe second at best. We'll see. But yeah, and after I saw Dune Part 2 today, I gotta say that was a fucking masterpiece. Denis Villeneuve, you have blown yourself out of the water. Yep, guys, this movie is not only everything I wanted it to be and more, it was even better than what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this is now officially the best Denis Villeneuve film. Yep, it's of freaking course better than the first film, and I mean way better. There was actually only one element the first film did better. I'll get to that a little bit later, but everything else is done better in the first film. But yes, it's also better than Prisoners. It's better than Arrival, and yes, it is better than Blade Runner 2049. Yep, I am going that far. This is already the best movie of 2024. I doubt anything will top this one. Not even Deadpool and Wolverine and Furiosity. Yeah, because of this movie raised a bar, a new bar where I don't think anything else can top this. Yeah, I don't think anything else can top this. Maybe Deadpool and Wolverine can really shocked me. It can be something truly special. It can end up being something where it could actually land the spot as my favorite film of the year, or maybe Furiosa. Now, yes, yeah, Furiosa and Deadpool and Wolverine are pretty much the only movies that can pretty much be on the same level. That could probably be on the same level as Dune Part Two. But other than those two movies, yeah, all other movies, this and those two movies I mentioned have already been blown out of the water. Yep. And honestly, this is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time now. I'm not kidding. I actually have this in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I know recency bias, but who cares? Come on, this is actually enough for me to put in my top 10 favorite movies of all time list. It is that good. It is certainly one of the greatest sequels of all time. Yeah, is honestly, yeah, it's Frozen 2, Across the Spider-Verse, and Avatar: The Way of Water levels of good. Yep, levels of good. Yeah, that's how much I love it. And yeah, it's literally alongside those movies in my opinion. I'd even say that this is the Frozen 2 of Dune. Yeah, this is. But actually, I think the best movie. You can call this a Frozen 2 of Dune and the Across the Spider and the Avatar: The Way of Water of Dune, but I think the sequel that I think this deserves to be compared with the most is Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I'd say that this is the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse of Dune. Yeah. Basically, basically where this movie ends on an exciting cliffhanger that leads into the next one, and it gets you like wondering what's gonna happen. And yeah. And yes, by the way, yeah, this isn't really the complete story like what you thought. There are some people who were put off by the fact that this was not a complete story and that we're getting a third film. But I think that the third film was needed to be able to finish all the stories that was told in the book. Yeah, with Dune 3 being called Dune Messiah. Man, I mean, if this movie raised the bar so high, like impossibly high, I wonder how higher can Dune Messiah reach. I know it can do it. I know it may top this one. And it can get better from there. But yeah. Now let's get into the reasons as to why I love this film. What makes this one of the best movies of all time. And yeah. Now, I was originally going to think... Oh, by the way, just a heads up. I was originally going to call this the best Warner Bros. Movie, my new favorite Warner Bros. Movie of all time. Warner Bros. Movie of all time, but I will say this is probably the best Warner Bros. Movie since Return of the King. Return of the King is still the best Warner Bros. Movie and will always be the best Warner Bros. Movie, but this is a close second. This is definitely the best Legendary movie. Legendary Pictures, I mean, no competition whatsoever. Yep, it even topped Inception. But okay, enough of that. Let's get into all the reasons as to why this movie is as perfect as it could be. Let's get the obvious out of the way. The obvious things that people will point out. The visuals are some of the greatest visuals I have ever seen. Put from here, this is the Avatar: The Way of Water of 2024 in terms of visuals. Wow, I mean the visual effects are godlike. I mean, I cannot put into words of how gorgeous the visuals are. The from the basics to the sandworms and all that stuff. I mean, it's even hard to describe the visuals. It's just a godlike visuals. That's the best I can say. Greg Fraser's cinematography is just it is out of this world. Like, this is literally like in competition with some of Roger Deakins' best cinematography. Yeah, it is that good. I mean, the shots are just gorgeous, almost like a painting. Not like Poor Things level. Poor Things still has the best cinematography of the decade, I will admit, but the cinematography in this one, oh my goodness, it is just a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the eyes, especially with the shots of just Paul and Chani when they're just looking out at the view, and there was this shot of Chani and this one character who I forgot the name of, just one side character who was only in the film for like 2 minutes. You can see them like sitting back to back against each other, back to back, and like the shoulders touching. Oh my god, that shot! Holy shit! Yeah, holy shit! Yeah, yeah. And there's so many others like this shot of Paul climbing up to the rock and then just raising his sword, and everyone just like raises their swords with the Paul. That kind of gave me Lion King vibes for some reason. Yeah, yeah. If that could be the Lion King remake fucked up when that scene did the live action Pride Rock scene better than Lion King. Yeah. But wanna know what was my favorite shot in the film? Yeah, remember in the third and final trailer where you see like these waves, like the shot of the waves, like there's like this desert and then the waves, which is pretty much the world that Paul lives in, and he described it. Yeah, the shot of the ocean. Yeah, that is probably my favorite shot in the entire film, and that is honestly one of my favorite scenes in the film. It might be my favorite scene in the entire film, but I gotta be honest, I actually cannot decide which is my favorite scene in the film. I'm actually thinking of that, but there are other favorite scenes. I'll talk about them in a bit. But you know what? Yeah, this might be a spoiler to some, but actually it's not, because they already revealed this in like recently, where they revealed that Anya Taylor-Joy is actually a part of the casting. Yeah. Yeah, that scene when Anya Taylor-Joy was looking in the ocean and she's like you see like no, not wait, no, wait, sorry, I was gonna build up to that, but yeah, basically you see this one character walking in the sand and looking out into the ocean. You may think it's Paul Atreides, but actually when the character turns around, it is actually Anya Taylor-Joy. And you wanna know who Anya Taylor-Joy's character actually is? Yeah, she is Paul Atreides' future sister, like basically the grown-up version of the girl who is inside Lady Jessica's womb. Yeah, pregnant womb. Yeah, that is Anya Taylor-Joy right there. And yeah, I know I'm partially spoiling it, but technically, you guys probably already knew that Anya Taylor-Joy was going to be in this because of the announcement and their reveal at the London festival. Yeah, that is a high contender for my favorite scene in the film. But then again, yes, like what I said, I have not decided on. I could not jump into a conclusion on my favorite scene in the film. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I'll say that for now. But yeah, and Anya Taylor-Joy's words, oh man, they're so powerful. I mean, this is a freaking cameo that's like less than a minute, but oh my god, it is so powerful. Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy is basically like, Paul, know that I love you. Yeah, but not as a brother, not a romantic partner, of course. Yeah, yeah, that was honestly one of the greatest cameos ever put to film. Period. Yeah. Again, I'll see that's my favorite scene in the film. Maybe I'll see it on rewatch, but yeah. Yeah, the Anya Taylor-Joy cameo, it made me just geek out because of how much of an Anya Taylor-Joy fan I am. But yeah, other things. What else? Oh yeah, and the score from Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer is a freaking goat. There is a no way. Yeah, Hans Zimmer is the goat. Yeah, yes, sure. The scoring in this one is technically the same as the first film. There were some new additions to the score, like at the end. That score is basically played at the very end before the credits roll. Yeah, it's the same. The music from the third trailer. Yeah, beautiful music, and what was it again? Oh yeah, but yeah, there's a few new additions to the tracks, but I love how they continue to remind us on why the first Dune movie has some of the best soundtrack ever put to film, and yeah, Hans Zimmer is just truly one of the greatest. And this is already the Frozen Awards 2025 winner for best original score. In fact, there are actually some categories, Frozen Award categories, where Dune Part 2 already immediately won. Whether it ends up being my favorite film of the year or another film surprisingly tops it, I mean, yeah, you got the technical aspects like visual effects, best sound, best original score, maybe best production design. Yeah, the production design is amazing, but production design, I'll actually be unbiased with that one. I'll be open to any other movie that can probably have better production design than this. We'll see. And as for the acting, Timothy Chalamet for Best Actor and Zendaya for Best Supporting Actress. They've already won the Frozen Awards 2024 for Best for their respective categories. There's no competition. Florence Pugh has a 50-50 chance of winning Best Supporting Actress, but again, I'll be open to any performances that could possibly be better. But right now, yeah, I'll talk about Florence Pugh in a bit later. But yeah, and Best Picture. 90-10, yeah. I'm 90% sure, 95% sure of it winning Best Picture. So yeah, there's that. And speaking of mentioning performances, oh boy, the performances are probably another highlight of the film. Yeah, the performances are another highlight of the film. Yeah, well, Timothy Chalamet gives an Oscar-worthy performance. Yeah. Timothy Chalamet has proven to be one of the, if not the greatest young actors now. And honestly, after seeing this film, there might be a chance that Timothy Chalamet could be my favorite actor. And honestly, right now, I'm actually debating on who could be my number one favorite actor, Chris Pine or Timothy Chalamet. I will depend. Like, objectively, Timothy Chalamet is the better actor, objectively, so he could be my favorite actor, but again, it's between him and Chris Pine. I'll have to rethink about that. But my God, Timothy Chalamet proves again that he can do no wrong, even with shitty films like Don't Look Up. But even Timothy Chalamet is by far the best part of that film. By far the best part of that film. But this one, he takes his acting performance to a whole new level where his performance, he really pushes it. Like, you can tell that he actually wants to win Best Actor. He wants to at least get nominated. And yeah, if you've noticed with the Oscars, they haven't been nominating actors and actresses who are under 30. Yeah, most of the time they just nominate actors who are 30. Like, they don't nominate youngsters. It's like they have a bias against youngsters or something. But so yeah, the Oscars, please nominate Timothy Chalamet and especially Zendaya. Zendaya is by freaking far the standout of the film. Jeez Louise, Zendaya. Yeah, she's the best. Chani is the best Dune character now. And yeah, for the longest time, I said that MJ was Zendaya's best performance and nothing can top it. Well, now I can definitely confirm that Chani is Zendaya's best performance ever. And not only that, but yeah, Zendaya was actually quite low in my top 10 favorite actresses list. I think she was like below the top 5, like I think 7 or 8 from what I remember. But after seeing Dune Part 2, Zendaya has skyrocketed in my top 5 favorite actors, like surpassing my top 5. Yeah, but now that I thought about it, I would personally put Zendaya at number 4, my 4th favorite actress, behind Sei Sing, number 1. Behind Sei Sing, Haley Steinfeld, and Kristen Bell. Yeah, and then Zendaya. And then I'm debating on who I prefer more. I like more Anna Joy or Florence Pugh. Yeah, I'll get to their characters later on in the film. Yeah, I'll certainly get to those two later on. Zendaya, like her acting is just, oh my God. Yeah, seriously. Like, I can't even begin to describe how good she was in this one. But yeah, there's other actors too. Josh Brolin gives his best non-MC performance. Though Thanos will always be his best performance. All the returning actors are great. Dave Bautista gives his best performance. Yeah, even maybe I honestly like him better in this film than Jack. Cause I mean, you got Stellan Skarsgård giving just an even stronger performance as the quote unquote main villain of the film. Of the Dune films. Although technically, Christopher Walken is actually the true main villain of the film. True main villain of the film. Um, oh yeah, Austin Butler is honestly one of the standouts. Honestly, besides Paul Atreides, Fade Rotha is actually my favorite male character. Besides Paul Atreides, I mean, I still think Elvis Presley is Austin Butler's best performance, but Austin Butler is someone else in this film. Oh my god, like his performance in this film is so ruthless. Yeah, honestly, he is the best Dune villain. Period. I mean, wow, his performance is so. He feels so even more threatening and ruthless than any other villains. On like and yeah, he's probably the most badass character in the film, even more bad than Zendaya. Oh yes, and I'll talk about the action scenes in a bit, but I mean, wow, his performance is so terrifying. Um, Florence Pugh is honestly, this is honestly Florence Pugh's most underrated performance. No one gives her enough credit. Yes, I will admit, when I saw her in the chairs, I was like, oh, she's probably gonna get like 5 minutes of screen time. Yeah, she's gonna be like there very little. But her total, I think her total amount of screen time is actually 10 minutes. Like Florence Pugh is actually far more impactful to the story than I or anyone would have thought. Yeah, sure, it's not Florence Pugh's best performance. Even though I prefer Dune 2 Part 2 over Oppenheimer, I will admit, I think Florence Pugh was better in Oppenheimer than this one. But man, I mean, her performance as, Princess Irulan, or how you pronounce it, yeah, still great in this, and definitely one of the standouts. Yeah, I mean, even though Florence Pugh was promoted to be one of the villains and was on the Harkonnen side, especially when she's the daughter of the main villain, she actually isn't really a villain, turns out. And I knew from the very beginning that Florence Pugh was not going to be a villain. So yeah, you'll see what happens to her in the end, because yeah, the ending goes into directions that you would not expect. And the action scenes. Oh my god, the action scenes in this movie are fucking amazing. Now, yes, I will admit, I was expecting non-stop action. Yeah, people were saying that, the first 1 hour is just all set up, and then the remaining 1 hour 45 minutes are just all non-stop action. It's not necessarily all action scenes. There are some slow-paced bits in there. Like, there are times when the movie does try to tell a story, that try to take its time to develop its story and to expand its lore, because we get to learn new things, like where baby worms come from, and the poison drink that both Timothy Chalamet and Rebecca Ferguson's characters would drink, and then like they literally get poisoned. They die for 5 minutes, and then they come back to life, and all that stuff. So yeah, there are some small slow bits, but the action scenes are honestly some of the best action scenes I've seen in a long time. I mean, you got action scenes like you got action scenes like that gladiator match, which was shot in black and white, arguably the best shot scene in the film. With Austin Butler pretty much fighting a bunch of the members of the Atreides family and all that stuff. You got a girl power moments, like with Chani, when remember in the trailer where we saw Chani using that rocket blaster things to shoot the Harkonnen ships from the air and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a girl power moment, and honestly one of my favorite action scenes. You got actually thinking about it, that's actually my favorite action scene. Yeah, basically where Paul and Chani fight each other with that rocket, that big rocket explosion gun thing. I forgot what you call it, but yeah, that's my personal favorite right there. The one when Zendaya is reload. From the trailer. Yeah, that's my favorite action scene. My personal favorite. And of course you got the final battle, which the war scene. Yeah, which is basically like the Helm's Deep action scene of the Two Towers. Yeah, it's that level of ambitious right there. And you even got the You even got the yeah, and you even got that Paul versus Fade action scene, yeah, which, yeah, that scene right there, oh my god, yeah, it is so brutal, yeah. Yeah, that Timothy Chalamet versus Austin Butler fight scene is fucking brutal. Like there's no music, and it's so gritty. Like they're basically just beating the shit at each other. Like it was supposed to be a sword fight, but then it just turned into a fist fight. I mean, wow. Oh yeah, and also there is actually a lot of girl power from Chani. Yeah, there is this one scene where like Chani literally jumped into the aircraft that Dave Bautista's character was in, and she literally like she literally kicked the crap out of Dave Bautista. Although one of Dave Bautista's henchmen, one of the Harkonnen henchmen, kicked Zendaya out of the ship, so she didn't really 100% succeed. But still, that was badass right there. That was a girl boss moment right there. And people say that there was no girl boss moment for Zendaya, which apparently these anti-SJW think is a good thing. Well, but yeah, there actually were some girl boss moments where Zendaya's like, oh, I'm the girl boss. Yeah, like specifically when she's like, she's literally trying to stop them from worshiping people, and it's like, this prophecy is how they enslave us. Yeah, that was a freaking badass girl power moment right there. Her girl power, it doesn't have to come from action scenes. It can also come from these tough ass dialogue, like that she would spit out. Yeah, that is some girl boss moments right there. And yeah, and the story. Yeah, sure. This may not be as plot driven as the first one, but honestly, the writing is better. Yeah, it expands the lore of Dune. It expands everything that the first film already had, and yeah, I noticed this difference between the first and second Dune. The Dune movies are both about politics and religion. The first film is mainly about politics. I said that there were religious aspects in the first film, but like especially when it had hidden themes of blind religion, but it's more, the first one was more about politics, the themes of the film, but this one is more geared towards religion, less politics and more religion. It's basically what more religion, as you know, the film tackles themes of how religion can be toxic, and sometimes blind religion is a thing, like you don't know who you're worshiping. Yeah. And the film actually does have some metaphors in the Bible, like I don't want to talk about that, honestly. I don't talk religion on my channel. And the film like the plot would constantly give us surprises that I didn't see coming. They weren't even plot twists, and yet they were aspects that I was shocked about. I was really surprised that this respected plot line would happen, and the ending did not go the way I expected it to go. But one thing I will say though, one of the reasons as to why I compare this, I call this the Spider-Verse of Dune, the Across the Spider-Verse, is because it had a very similar ending where basically it ended. I will say it ended with the best character being shown. Yeah, I mean the final scene involved my favorite character of their respective films. In Across the Spider-Verse, it involved Gwen Stacy. Just being ready for battle and going to the portal. And in this film, it ended with Shani. Yeah, that's all I'll say. That's the only thing I will say about the ending. I want to tell you what happens. All I'll say is it ended with Chani being shown on the camera. Yeah, similar to, I won't say anything else. So yeah. Now I will say that though, even though this movie did 99.9% of things better than the first film, there was one thing that I felt like the first film did better personally, and that is how they handled Lady Jessica's character. Don't get me wrong, I loved it in this film, and especially Rebecca Ferguson's performance. Although I personally prefer Ilsa Foster in the Mission Impossible films, yeah, I still think that's her best role to me. But yeah, in this film, I will say that I was more invested in Lady Jessica's character in the first film than in this one. But that's mainly because that in the first movie, she literally took over the spotlight. She was my favorite character in the first film. But then in this film, now that the Freeman and especially Chani had more screen time, yeah, Lady Jessica kind of took a step back a bit. But is that a problem? Hell no, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. So overall, Dune Part 2 is a masterpiece, a perfect film. It does everything you want in a sequel and more. It's literally, this is one of those sequels that tops the original. It is a one of those perfect examples of how to be better in the first film. And this is a sequel that definitely deserves to be in the conversation as some of the greatest sequels of all time. It is already my favorite movie of 2014, and no doubt about it. In fact, I will go as far as saying I think this movie should win Best Picture at the Oscars. Yeah, screw drama movies and Oscar bait movies. Dune Part 2 is the true Best Picture winner in my mind at the Oscars. And I hope the Oscars would actually recognize this movie and be like, hey, that's actually a Best Picture worthy movie. We're gonna give that the best. Yeah, seriously, I pray I pray to God the Academy, the members of the Academy would be smart enough to actually vote for this movie to win Best Picture because it needs to win. Yeah, for next year. And yeah, so yeah. But one thing, even though it doesn't win, I won't be surprised if it doesn't win, but I still want this to win. I mean, seriously, Oscars, put your bias against action movies aside. It doesn't always have to be drama movies. I mean, if Everything Ever All at Once can win Best Picture, this one can too, you know. And yeah, so yeah, with that said, sorry about the kids. Sorry about those shitty kids. Sorry about those shitty ass annoying kids. But yeah, I'm walking away from them, by the way, if you're wondering. So yeah, so overall, yeah. So with that said, I'm going to give Dune Part 2 a 6 out of 5. Yeah, 5 out of 5 is not giving this movie enough credit. 6 out of 5 is what this movie deserves. So also for my review of Dune Part 2, yeah, what are your thoughts on the film? Yeah, like, have you seen this film yet? I know this movie had a fan screening last Sunday. Did you see this movie last Sunday? And if you did, what are your thoughts on the film? Do you agree with me that this is one of the greatest sequels of all time? And this is already the best movie of the year? Or do you think that there could be another movie that can top this? And if you haven't seen the film yet, did my review of it get you more hype for it? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review of the first Megamind movie leading up to, oh god no, Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. And I may also review Iwaju too. Maybe I'll do my Denis Villeneuve movies ranking video, but if I can do that, it'll be after my rant on Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. So I'll do that on Sunday maybe. So yeah, bye guys.